Okay. So before seeing about what is pointer, so let's see first of all in my program, suppose I'm going to deal with some integer. So then I need to declare one integer variable. So let's take I'm going to store a roll number, or I'm going to use a roll number in my program. So I need to declare one integer variable. In this I can store some integer. Similarly in my program I'm going to deal with any character, a single character. So I'm going to declare a character variable. Let's take a student section. What section is A section or B section or C section, something like that. So for this, let's assume when this int roll is executed, how the memory allocated in the RAM, the memory allocated for this roll, 4 bytes of memory is allocated for this roll. Let's assume this is 1 byte, like this 4 byte of memory is allocated for this integer variable roll. The name of this is roll, and for this the memory, let's assume that the memory is allocated at the memory location of memory address of 2000. Similarly, there is another variable, character variable, section. So for section, how many byte memory is allocated? 1 byte memory is allocated, and this is section. And for this, the memory allocated, let's assume at the memory location, memory address at 3000. Now, in this roll number, I am trying to store roll equal to 50, section is equal to A section. So like this I am going to store. So this 50 is stored in the roll number. That is, this 50 will be stored in this 4 bytes of memory in a binary form. Similarly, the A is a character that is stored in the section. So that A is stored in a section, 1 byte of memory. Now, suppose I want to declare some variable. In that variable, I want to store the addresses of these variables. Again I am repeating, I should have some memory, or I should have some variable. That variable should hold the address of another variable. So for that we are going with the, or the Dennis Rich has come up with the concept of pointers. So I should declare one pointer. Again, what type of address I want to store? Suppose I want to store the address of this roll number. Then the roll number is what data type? Integer data type. So I should declare one integer pointer. So integer, the pointer, maybe PTR. Okay. So if I just declare int PTR, the PTR is a normal integer variable. To differentiate, this is a pointer variable. So we have to use the extra indication. So the star indicates that this PTR is a integer pointer variable. Okay. Now, for this PTR, how much memory is allocated? For this PTR, that is the pointer variable, for this also 4 byte memory is allocated. This name is PTR. Now, for this also, there will be some address will be there. So let's take the address is at 4000. So for this roll number also 4 byte memory is allocated. Where it is allocated? At memory location of 2000. So you need to consider that the memory allocated for this roll number is 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003. So like this 4 bytes of memory allocated for roll number. And in that 4 bytes of memory we are storing 50. So the 50 is stored in this 4 bytes of memory. Similarly, for section, a 1 byte of memory is allocated, that is 3000. Okay. Now we allocated one pointer variable. The purpose of the pointer variable is to store the address only. We cannot store the values. You want to deal with the values, you want to store some values, you should go with the normal variables like this. Whenever you want to store the address, you go with the pointer variable. Okay. So, sir, for pointer variable, should I give the name as a PTR? No, you can give as usual, like any name you can give. Int A, int star A, int star X, int star ABC. So like that you can give any name as per the identifier rules. There is no restriction with respect to the name of the pointer variable. Okay. So when you declare int pointer, sir, how are we saying this as a pointer variable? By indicating the star. The star indicates to the compiler that, boss, this PTR is a pointer variable. Suppose if star is not given, the PTR will be a normal integer variable. In this PTR, you can store any integer values. Okay, so for this PTR, 4 bytes of memory is allocated, 4000, 4001, 4002, 4003. Like this 4 bytes of memory allocated, and the name of this 4 byte memory is PTR. Now suppose you are going to store some address. So what address we can store in this? We can store another integer variable address, we can store it. So another integer variable, what we have? Roll number. So can we store the roll address into this PTR? So PTR is equal to address of roll. So already we are using in all the scanf. Whenever you scan some integer or character, whatever it is, while using the scanf, you used to give ampersand A, ampersand X, ampersand age, ampersand like a roll number like that. What does it mean that ampersand is? Ampersand indicates that address of roll number. Okay. For roll number, this is roll number. For this roll number, what is the address? This 2000 is the address. For roll number, there are 4 bytes of address. I mean 4 addresses belongs to the roll number. But all that 4 address we are not going to define, we are not going to tell everywhere. We are going to tell, or we are going to mention only the starting address. What is the starting address? Starting address is a 2000. So the for roll number, ampersand roll number means the starting address of the roll number is a 2000. So this 2000 you are assigning in the pointer variable PTR. So now what is assigned in this 4 bytes of memory? 2000 will be assigned in the binary form in this 4 bytes of memory. Okay. Next, suppose for similar to this, for character variable also, I want one character pointer. In that character pointer, I want to store the address of this section. So then, what should be the declaration? Character star maybe Q. Okay. So for this Q, how much memory is allocated?
1. Sorry, 4.
So any pointer, keep this in mind, any pointer, it will allocate a 4 bytes of memory. You will understand, sir, why for any pointer it is allocating a 4 bytes of memory. Let's take this is at 5000. Now in this queue you want to store the address of section. So Q is equal to address of section. Okay, I'll tell you what is the address of section. Section, address of section means 3000. Okay, here only 1 byte of address, so it is 3000. So 3000 you are assigning in Q. So in the Q the 3000 will be stored. Now coming back, just remember one thing. If suppose for character pointer 1 byte memory is allocated, will you able to assign like this? again I am repeating, for character pointer, if for Q only 1 byte memory is allocated. Let's assume it is allocated only 1 byte memory. So in 1 byte memory, what is the maximum value you can store? What is the maximum number you can store? 255 only you can store. But actually what address we are storing, what number we are storing here? It is 3000. So just like you are trying to understand the reason why for all pointer it is allocating 4 bytes of memory. See, the pointer variables are dedicatedly available to store only the address. Address is nothing but it is numbers. The numbers cannot be small numbers. Addresses can be like a very big addresses. 2000, 5000, 10,000, lakhs, multiple lakhs also it will be there. So to store that big numbers, it is not possible that like you cannot store in a single byte or 2 byte. So you need a more memory. So that is the reason any pointer means like it is dedicatedly available for to storing the address. So it will allocate and whenever you declare one pointer, for that pointer a 4 byte memory is allocated, irrespective of what data type is that. Clear, right? Pointer data type can be character, float, double, integer, whatever it is. But for the pointer variable, it will allocate a 4 bytes of memory, and in that you can store the respective data type variable address. Okay. So now this is one part. Next, suppose I want to print the address. So to print the addresses, we use the format specifier as a %p. Now I am giving address of role, comma ptr. So address of role is what? Address of role 2000. So you will get for this print what you will get? 2000. PTR
2000.
So in PTR whatever you are, that you will get it. Suppose if I give ampersand PTR, address of PTR is 4000. See, understand the difference. Roll number means 50. Address of roll number 2000. PTR means 2000. Address of PTR is 4000. Very good. So now I don't want this. Next, printf %d. Okay, I'm just giving roll. I'm just so if I try to give if I try to print just a roll, what I will get?
50.
The roll number 50. Inside that 4 bytes of memory, whatever I have, that value I am going to get. Now, similarly, the roll address we have it in a pointer PTR. Now, using this PTR, I am trying to print this 50. Okay. So for that, what you have to do is you have to give PTR star. See, please remember, just if you give PTR, what it means? Inside PTR, whatever you have the address. So here also, if you just give PTR, it is 2000. When you give star in front of it, so the star indicates that in the 2000 what value is present, that it will retrieve, that it will dereference. Okay. So the star is there means whatever the address here it is present, in that address what value is there, that will be dereferenced. Okay. So just PTR means it is 2000. Star PTR means value at 2000. So value at 2000 is 50. So you can print using this roll number also, you can print the 50. Using PTR also you can print the 50. Clear? But see, blindly just follow the instructions. Don't like, sir, why are we doing all these things? Sir, I want to print 50 means directly I can print like this. Why I should like go other way and I have to print using the PTR? There are some reason like what, just like we are trying to understand what is pointer now. And in the upcoming classes, we are going to see the advantages or like the usage of pointers in the upcoming classes. Okay. So the same way, suppose if I am printing printf %p, okay, ampersand of section and comma q. So now here, what is the address?
3000.
3000. Q also 3000. Okay. Printf %c section comma star q. Clear, right? So section means A that you are trying to print as a character. So inside this 1 byte of memory, whatever is that you are trying to print as a character. And then Q is like a 3000. Q means just 3000. Star Q means value at 3000. Whatever the value you are getting in that 3000 memory, that you are trying to print as a character. So you will get the A, capital A. Okay. So that's all. Just like what is pointer, how to use a pointer, and here you just like understand the difference between the two star. So here also we are using star, here also we are using a star. So this star indicates the compiler that boss, this ptr is a pointer variable, that is integer pointer variable. This star indicates that this q is a character pointer variable. But this star indicates that it is trying to dereference the value. So ptr is nothing but it is holding some address. In that address, whatever the value is that value I want. That is the meaning of this star. Same here also, the q is a pointer. It is having some address. In that address there is some value, that value I want. So this star is used to dereference the value, retrieve the value. This star to indicate that this variable is a pointer variable. That's it. Okay.